What's poppin', guys and girls? It's your boy Royal, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I want to discuss with you guys the Phase 2 Protection Paladin Best in Slot gear. A couple of things before we jump right into it, though, is you want to make sure that your avoidance capped, and in Phase 2, it's easier to do that than ever before because a lot of the gear in Phase 2 has way more defensive stats than in Phase 1, and so I'll leave a link down below to the avoidance cap sheet, but it is 102.4% if you don't already know. The best overall helmet for Paladins in Phase 2 is going to be the Crystal Forge Face Guard, and the reason for this is because it provides a high spell power as well as defensive stats and stamina. But a couple other honorable mentions are the Tier 4 helmet still, as well as the new engineering goggles if you're an engineer. The best overall shoulders for Protection Paladin in Phase 2 is going to be the Justicar shoulder guards, and the reason for this is because of the block value it gives as well as the spell power. And the reason this is chose over the new Tier 5 shoulders is if you have a look at the new Tier 5 shoulders, they actually give parry rating, they do not give block rating, and you want block rating to help towards the uncrushability status that we talked about earlier. The best overall chest piece for Paladins in Phase 2 TBC is going to be the Tier 4 chest piece, and the reason for this is because of the high block value that allows you to maintain uncrushability status, but then it also allows you to maintain the Tier 4 tier bonus, which this is useful for maintaining threat because it brings an added 15 bonus damage to your ret aura. Girdle of the Invulnerable is the recommended Phase 2 best in slot, and the reason for this is survivability because it gives mitigation towards uncrushability status. However, there still is Girdle of the Valorous Deeds, which is still a viable option. Wrist guards of determination are the best in slot wrist guards for Protection Paladin. The reason for this is avoidance stats once again. However, some of the honorable mentions are the Huntsman bracers as well as the bracers of dignity, which is the best in slot for this phase's threat. Feet of the Protector are the best in slot Phase 2 boots for Paladin, and the reason why is because of mitigation stats, but also they allow for use of other items in other places because of the high mitigation stats. So overall, you want to try and get yourself a pair of Feet of the Protector in Phase 2. Crystal Forge leg guards are the recommended Phase 2 best in slot legs for threat and general survivability, and the reason for this is the legs provide more stamina and spell power than the Tier 4 Justicar leg guards. However, those still manage to be a viable option this tier because of the parry and spell power on those. The best overall stamina legs this tier still manages to be the Wind Dynasty from Karazhan. The best overall gloves for this tier are going to be the Crystal Forge Tier 5 gloves because of the high threat management that they give out. But then the Kael'thas Silver Moon gloves are also a very high viable option, but the only downside to these gloves is that they don't have any threat that the Crystal Forge Tier 5 gauntlets do. So I highly recommend that you go with the Tier 5 gauntlets overall. The Eye of Mac Therodon trinket is going to be the best in slot threat management trinket for this phase. I'll just end up listing a bunch of trinkets on the page right now for you guys to look at. The reason why I don't want to discuss them all and go over them all is because I could probably quite literally make a trinket video quite in itself, is because there's so many trinkets that you can choose from and so many different options and builds that you can go with. So I'll just show you guys them on screen and you can pick from the best ones here. Okay guys, same thing as the trinkets. I'll just show you guys a bunch of cloaks on screen right now. There's way too many cloaks to go over and talk about. However, there are two main types of cloaks in the game. There's defensive cloaks and then there's threat management cloaks. The defensive cloaks have defensive stats and stamina on them that help you manage your defense and survivability. And then the threat management cloaks have spell power on them and oftentimes help you with threat and threat management. Darkener's Grasp is the recommended Phase 2 best in slot neck due to its high stamina value as well as defense stats. It provides plus 1.78% block chance, which allows for flexibility in changing up other gear pieces. So much like the boots, you want to make sure that you get a Darkener's Grasp. Another one that is a very good one is the Sun King's Talisman. This one is a good one for threat management because it provides spell power. Much like the backs and necks, the rings come down to the same categories, defensive and offensive. There's way too many rings to show you guys, so I'm just going to show them all on screen, and you guys can pick from the best ones. I will, however, disclose of the new ones being added in Phase 2 and what they are compared to the old ones, such as the Iran one from Shade of Iran and Karazhan. The Aldori Legacy Defender from Gruul remains to be the top shield for Protection Paladin in Phase 2, so make sure you go and clear Gruul's Lair weekly to try and get that shield out of there. Protection Paladins get a new weapon in Serpent Shrine Cavern, and that's going to be every Protection Paladin's wet dream, so you got to make sure you go and get that. The Justice Badge Libram remains to be the best Libram in the game, and the reason for this is because of the block chance and the mitigation towards being uncrushable. But one of the better ones, if you are uncrushable capped, is go pick up the Eternal Rest one, and that increases your consecration damage, which is going to increase your overall threat. So it all depends on what Libram you already have, and basically what your overall defense and mitigation is towards reaching uncrushability. Anyway, guys and girls, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Go and check my Twitch out. I'll leave a link down below. I stream almost every other day. I'm not actually going to be streaming tomorrow or Tuesday if you watch this video tomorrow. The reason is because I'm going to be out of town. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Leave any suggestions down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed it, and peace out.